All right. So today we're going to be breaking down Logan Webb's 5-year, $90 million contract extension that he made with the Giants last week. Apologies, I'm a little late getting to this video as I'm just kind of starting things out here. I've just been working through the kinks a little bit. But if we're getting into Logan Webb, he's a 26-year-old right-hander. He was drafted by the Giants back in 2014 in the fourth round, and he debuted in 2019. Back in 2019, he was their number 5 ranked prospect, so he wasn't ever some massive prospect coming up. But yeah, I'd say props to him for getting this money, and it's a good story. We're going to look into the numbers a little bit. We're going to compare kind of the money across the league and to see what kind of comparables there are out there for him. We're going to look at Logan Webb going forward, if this money's going to be worth it with the new rules in place, and we're going to look into his stats a little bit closer. So kind of just starting out, he had a really good year last year, and that's really kind of what propelled him into this deal. He made all 32 of his starts. He had a 2.9 ERA. Yeah, kept the runs low. I mean, he's not a big strikeout guy, so anytime your ERA is that low and you're not a big strikeout guy, it's impressive. His WAR, yeah, we look at WAR as a 4.8, finished 11th in the Cy Young voting. Not quite an all-star last year, and if you look right here, it says about a 5+ WAR is an all-star level, so he's kind of right on that precipice of breaking through there. If we're going to look at the Giants books, we all remember their saga in the offseason. They were going after Judge. Then they signed, or what they had thought had signed a deal with Correa, which eventually fell through. So they were really active in the free agency market this year and just couldn't bring anyone of major value in. They brought in Conforto, a couple other guys, but yeah, nothing too crazy. So beyond 2025, this is kind of the only committed money they have on their books. It kind of makes sense when you look at the depth chart. They don't have a ton of starting pitching. So to me, this is kind of a deal that, if I'm looking at why the Giants did it, is they want to secure their guy. They want to secure a starting pitcher in the middle of that rotation, top end of that rotation for years to come. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe Logan Webb is a number 1 or even a number 2 starter on a World Series contending team. I think at best maybe he's a number 2, but he's most likely a number 3 on a World Series team. So the Giants still have a lot of work to do beyond this, but to lock up a guy, I kind of see why they did it. Yeah, this buys out 2 years of his arbitration, so he would have been under control for this year and 2 years beyond. And the 8 and the 12 that they're paying him in 24 and 25 here is probably about what they pay him in arbitration anyways. So I'm kind of looking at this deal as this 26 to 28. It's about a 3-year, $70 million deal beyond the team's control. And yeah, to me, for Logan Webb, that's good money for him. Like, props to him and his agent to get that money. It might be a slight overpay, but it's nothing egregious on the Giants' end either. So if we're going to look into Logan Webb's savant numbers a little bit, it's not really much use looking into 2023. He's made 3 starts so far, and he's off to a bit of a shaky start. So we're going to look at 22 instead. Yeah, he's a contact ground ball pitcher. He doesn't strike out a lot of guys. His K rate is only in the 35th lowest percentile there, and so yeah, 20.7% K rate. That's nothing egregious. He was higher in 21. The league average K rate is about 22%, so he's kind of hovering right around there as an average strikeout guy. But really how he succeeds is soft contact and kind of getting the ball in play. He's an extreme ground ball pitcher, as you can see here. When we're looking at this, anything above 55% is like extreme ground ball. So that's kind of how he gets his outs. He's reliant on good defense and just getting the guys to make soft contact. There is slight concern for Webb going forward. So we're going to look at an article. This was done by Taylor Tarter of Pitcher List. And so I'm going to link the article down below in the description if you guys want to check it out further. He mainly looked into left-handed batters and what they did against the shift last year and what the pitchers did against those left-handed batters in the shift, So Logan Webb here, balls pulled into the shift by left-handed batters. He was second in the league. That resulted in 55 outs. And so you look into this down the article a little bit deeper. 49 of those outs were ground balls. So he was really reliant on the shift last year to get those ground ball outs. And that's kind of where part of my concern is coming. If you ask me, the Giants don't really need to do this extension right now, in my opinion. I don't think that Webb is going to have a better year this year than he did last year. And to me, I would have waited. I would let the summer play out, and I would have done this in the offseason if I was still feeling strongly about it as the Giants. but it's good for Webb and his agent to guarantee that money. So I see why they did it 100%. But we're going to watch Logan Webb going forward. I'm a little bit concerned about this. And as I said, he is off to the rocky start here. But yeah, he gets his money, and props to him. If we're going to be looking at comparables to this, I think the best comparable would be Marcus Stroman, and he's actually listed right here. Not only are they similar pitchers, but the money that they signed is very similar. So Stroman signed a 3-year, $71 million contract with the Cubs before last season. And he obviously has a longer track record than Webb. A lot of years of bulk innings, and pitched for the Blue Jays. I watched him a lot there, and back to the Mets, had a good season, then signed that free agency contract with the Cubs. And he's off to a really hot start this year. So this is kind of the comparable we're looking at. And when you actually look into the numbers quite a bit, they're like, at his best, Stroman was better than Webb's been so far. But when you really look at these, they're very similar pitchers. And so maybe this is just the going rate for this type of pitcher in the MLB right now. So yeah, in summary, to me, a bit of an overpay by the Giants. Good on Logan Webb for securing his money. Good on his agent. And we're going to have to look back on this one and see how it plays out a few years from now. But like I said, it's not extreme money. It's not some massive $30 million a year contract. It's not going to be an albatross one day. He's, I think, got a pretty high floor as a pitcher, middle of the rotation guy. So we'll see what the Giants are going to be able to do going forward. They're going to want to be a lot more successful this offseason in free agency and beyond.